Okay, here we are in Phoenicia. I'm clearly unable to make good decisions. I'm not comfortable enough with the game to just say, I know what I want to do in some cases. So I'm rolling dice too much and seeing some bad situations come up. So purple, who was in the lead, pulled up a couple of the smelters. And for whatever reason, red jumped on one. Now, it ended up costing red, I think, $7 to buy. $1 more than it cost, than its base. Now he has the improved mining card, but he still has no people, and he has no money now to transfer people over into the mining, so he's not advantaged. And then purple pulled up another one that went over to yellow, who got a discount on it, and now has that, has the improved mining. Probably do not want to use the mining because the improved mining is a better deal. But let's see what we got here. Is this 3-4? It switches back and forth. Gotcha. That leaves him with a prospector that he didn't take the bonus on, but that's okay. He still has the mining card, which isn't bad. Something yellow has as well, which makes it kind of less valuable. Red got their turn and could do not. Purple took the rest of their turn. They couldn't buy anything, so they built a farmer. Got themselves more production. Figure, well, I got the people at least. Red couldn't do anything on their turn, so now it's going to be green's turn to pull stuff up. Green showed some restraint. They dropped a dude into miner. A lot of money spent. What was it? 8 for miner, $10 total. But they think that this is the best move. It put them in the lead in victory points and production, tied with purple, which is a big jump for them. Yellow passed entirely, and blue also took it easy. They moved somebody from an unemployed, unskilled labor into farming, rather than they could have afforded the shipbuilder. Yeah, it gives a bonus, but right now we're looking at production, and he could jump into the lead in production. So, what else do we have? Well, we're at the end of the regular. There's no victory overlord. That's going to be red, purple, and green. That's going to go to red again. Development cards. We get 2 new ones. Another caravan. And another shipyard. You know, the option is going to be there next turn anyhow. And then production cards and storage, and I'll deal those out. Well, despite what may have been some poor moves, red was able to pick up the dye house with their big -7 off the price, which dropped to 7. And now they have a cloth making location. They got 4 extra production, 2 extra victory points. Put them well in the lead right now, but production wise, they're not that great. What were they at? 7, 8, 9. Looks like 10. 3, 4. 7, should be 9, yeah, which, you know, blue's already there, but victory point wise they're well in advance, and they could start moving people once they have money over into the cloth making, which is a good, better than their improved mining by a little bit. The improved mining was a mistake, that's all. Alright, green moved a worker into mining, upping their production to the highest. Yellow moved a hunter, leaving the tools for hunting behind, into improved mining. They're still really lagging though. Got a card left. At least there's that. Blue and purple each bought a caravan. Caravan's kind of cool. Blue really wanted it in part for the extra storage, but it also gives to production a victory point. And in blue's case, they had to pay a point for it. In purple's case, they did not, but they did have to avoid taking points that they could use for other things. They're going to leave their workers all here rather than pay for them, because whatever production they get, they're pretty sure they can hold the cards. So we're at the start of another turn. Red's in the lead. They grab the Overlord or whatever chit. All the production's out. But what's kind of interesting, the new cards Two of them are city centers, which allow you to get these victory point purchase tiles. They're fairly cheap, only 4 points. They give you 2 victory points to begin with, and for $3 each, you can get victory points up to the limit on your cards, which is if you have both of them, all 6. Anyway, interesting card, that's all. Definite option. Alright, and we'll start the next turn. So, red brought the city center up twice. Purple bought them both. They spent all their points on it. But they now have the improved VP purchase. They have the full bonuses towards whatever it goes towards public works. So, we'll see what happens there. Swinging through the rest of the turn. Green bought a caravan. Yellow, I believe, shifted somebody else into their improved mining. Blue managed to buy 2 shipyards, but they also, again, overdid it on tokens left at the end. They had 4. They don't have the granaries, so they don't have the extra spaces. And they lost a pip, so. But I still think getting the shipyard, 2 shipyards for 15 is pretty good. I would guess, especially when you have nothing really great to do with your points. You could shift hunters over to farming. Ooh. Okay, it definitely put blue up in the victory point levels, even if their production isn't fantastic. It's not bad either. Purple, well, purple spent their load on those city centers, and they got nothing they can do. Okay, so check for victory. Well, purple's in the lead now. They get the Overlord. Dev cards, we're going to get 2 pair of die houses. I don't know what more of them means. Let's see. Just more cloth making, I guess. Probably not something that this guy, even though he has $7 off of die houses, particularly ones. But they are 3 3s. That's pretty good for a 7. So he'll be in the bidding, I'm sure. I gotta shuffle deck 3 and put it in play, and then I'll get the production, and I'll come back and show you what exciting things are showing up. So we went around production. Yellow lost a coin due to that 4 not being able to convert, but 5 being able to convert 4 of the 5. Not a huge deal at this point, I think. What are our new cards other than those die houses? We got ships, which are 4 production, 2 victory points, and a warehouse. They're kind of a dead end, but the guy who has the double shipbuilding, blue, has 8 off the price. At $6, that's a tremendous deal, and I'm sure he's very interested in them. What else is there, though? There's people. Refugee settlement. 3 unskilled laborers and a skilled laborer for $8. There's a lot. Everyone except green needs people. Actually, everyone wants people. Certainly, laborers are a valuable commodity. And then the merchant's quarter, which comes with 1 skilled laborer. It's worth 2 victory points and 2 warehouses. Probably a less valuable card to most people at this point. There's very few people who are low on warehouses. Well, blue and yellow definitely could use the expansion. Of course, blue is going to probably get it on ships. There's die houses that can give you them. But the die houses aren't really valuable unless you got workers. So I think the workers are going to go for a lot, especially I think this refugee settlement is going to go for well over 8. We'll see what happens. Purple was in an interesting position with this refugee settlement up and the merchant's quarter. If they had enough money, they could have grabbed the die house probably at cheap level, or the ships. They didn't have enough, and so all they did, invested money to move workers, to train workers, and move them into farming. Gets them good production. They're regretting that they have nothing better to do, no cards out there that they could afford, that they really wanted, that they didn't have money saved up or whatever given their position, because in that first position, with everybody waiting on one card and them interested in something else, they would have almost certainly been able to get it. Red managed to get the refugee settlement, put it up for bid, started a little higher, it ended up going to him for 15 bucks. It's a high price, but it may have actually been lower than I expected. Green tried to auction off the merchant's quarter, but yellow picked that up. Then he went and bought a die house, and he got that for the base 14, which is a pretty good deal. 3 production, 3 victory points, and I don't think I gave him that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's owed a little house. That's one nice thing. If you forget something, it's pretty easy to see by looking at your cards. Oh, geez, I'm behind on the track or whatever, and that's not a problem at all. I mean, you might not be getting some production. What would be a problem is if you have your victory points counted wrong. You have to be kind of careful to make sure they're right, because usually, not in this turn necessarily, but usually it's a bone to have this thing on your side. Yellow had already spent a bundle for the turn, so what the hell did they do? Oh, they moved a worker into the hunting where they already had tools. Blue was looking and saying, I'm supposed to get 3 cards in production right now. They bought their ships because they have such a bonus on ships. They may have wanted to hold off on that, but and just buy the die, but they jumped, grabbed their ships cheap, and then, wow, I got too many cards in my hand. Ooh, that may not be the case. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So they only have 4 little things, holding 2 cards, 3 more coming. They had 2 things here. It looked like they had too much money. So they spent $5 to move a hunter onto farming. That's probably an iffy cost too. They may have been better off. They really would have been better off buying the die house, but jumped the gun on the ships, and I don't want to let them go back. All right, so who's in the lead now? Well, it's still purple. And anything else important? New cards. Let's see what we get. Public Works. A lot of victory points. 5 victory points for 12 bucks. And it gives bonuses on city walls. And it is bonused, I believe, by the city center. So purple's got a huge bonus on those. More refugees, more people. 3. Another Public Works. And another ships card. Ships cards are such a bonus for him. He's willing to take that penalty, I think, to get that, because $8 off, I think, right? $8 off gives him this for $6. It gives him 4 production and 2 victory points. That's pretty potent. I mean, he's in the lead in production now, which is why the hose wasn't that bad. He may end up with nothing better than farmers on his display. In which case, moving guys to farming is just as good as anything he can do. All right, and I'll do production. I'm going to send this up to you, and we'll start the next turn on another video.